Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and happy Hanukkah. Thank you for joining us on the first ever Hanukkah celebration that all the synagogues here in Louisville, Kentucky are organizing together. We begin with the Havdalah. הנה אל ישועתי, אבטח ולא אפחד, כי עוזי וזמרת יה אדוני, ויהי לי לישועה. ושבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה. לאדוני ישועה, על עמך ברכתך סלע. אדוני צבאות עמנו, משגב לנו, אלוהי יעקב סלע. אדוני צבאות, אושרי אדם בוטח בך. אדוני הושיע, המלך יעננו ביום קוראנו. ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר כן תהיה לנו. כוס ישועות אשא ובשם אדוני אקרא.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu העולם הורי פרי הגפן הורי פרי הגפן יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Horei minei samim Horei minei samim Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Horei mihorei ha'esh Horei mihorei ha'esh Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המבדיל בין קודש לכל המבדיל בין קודש לכל יא לה 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 יא 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 לה 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 Ya la 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 ya la la Eliyahu Hanavi Eliyahu Hadishbi Eliyahu Hagiladi Imhira v'yaminu Yahu Elinu Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi. peace. Be glad, be free, and joy in peace.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehaliknei Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu, bayamim ha'hem b'zman hazeh. Ma'otso Yeshuati, Bechana Elishabeach, Tikon Beit Tefilati, B'Sham Toda Nisabeach, V'yetachim Abeach, Mitzar Hamnabeach, Azek Mor B'Shir Mizmor, Chanukah Tamizbeach, Azek Mor B'Shir Mizmor, Chanukah Tamizbeach.
Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power. Shalom.
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Save even to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat.
Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot. Going to the kitchen, heat up the oil, wait until it's ready to boil. Roll up the dough, put the jelly in the middle, drop 'em in the pot and listen to 'em sizzle. Those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot. Some like 'em hot, some like 'em cold. Nobody likes 'em when they get too old. Raspberry, strawberry, chocolate too, though. Sufganiyot are so good for you, those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot. I love 'em with my breakfast, I love 'em with my lunch. Dinner time, snack time, I gobble up a bunch. Only problem is when I eat too many, my tummy starts to hurt and I feel real funny. Those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot, Sufganiyot. Oh, how I love those Sufganiyot.
Hanukkah Sameach. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Each year, when we celebrate Hanukkah, we celebrate the Festival of Lights. Perhaps this year, we need Hanukkah more than ever, because we need light in our lives more than ever. We need the light of health. We need the light of faith to get us through this dark time. We need the light of perseverance to navigate this pandemic. We need the light of medicine to shield us from coronavirus. We need the light of love to shine on all of us. We need the light of family and friends to sustain us. We need the light of vision to believe in the future. And we need the light of justice to guide us. These 8 lights or candles represent what I call our Chanukiah of hope. And hope, tikva, is exactly what we need right now. Like the Maccabees, the few who defeated the many, we will continue to band together, stick together, and go forward together. We will hold fast to life even as a silent enemy surrounds us. And we will dedicate our lives to all that holds meaning for us, just as our ancestors dedicated the temple in Jerusalem. Hanukkah reminds us that miracles do happen and that God is with us. May we feel God's presence tonight, and may we not give up before the miracle happens. And now it is with light in our hearts and laughter in our bellies that I have the pleasure of introducing tonight's special guest, Raanan Hershberg. Raanan is, according to his own website, a loud, neurotic Jew from Louisville, Kentucky. He made his national television debut on The Late Late Show with James Corden and was a finalist in Stand Up NBC and the Laughing Skull Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. He regularly opens for Kathleen Madigan in sold-out theaters across the country. His first album, Self-Helpless, climbed all the way to the top of the iTunes comedy charts. He premiered his solo show, Off the Grid, in the New York International Fringe Festival, which was called, quote, one of the best one-man shows you are likely to see anywhere. And his new album, Downhill Ever Since, is available online. Raanan currently resides in New York City, and tonight we welcome him back virtually to his hometown. Let's give it up for Raanan Hershberg.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much for reading my entire biography. That was great. Hello, how are you all? Give it up for everyone who saw. That was great. All the Jewish songs, those were amazing. The blues song about the Israeli donut. Give it up to all of it. I'll just Zoom. That's fun. But anyway, so Canner, we got to get on that. Who are we muting here? We got to come on, Canner. We got to get quick. I know. Yeah. So it's great to be here. That was awesome. Let's see. Let's see what we had here. We had all the good Jewish songs. It was like the Jewish Songs Greatest Hits Volume 1. We covered all the bases. We had the Debbie Friedman song, the Hanukkah song. That was great. Rabbi Schlossberg, I didn't realize you were at synagogue. At first, I just thought you were so cautious you're wearing a mask even on Zoom. I thought you were taking it to the next level. So yeah, I hope you're all having a good pandemic Hanukkah. Jews, he's taking the mask off. He's putting it back on. He's just readjusting. You're taking it off? Is there anyone in the room?
Cantor's in the room.
Cantor,
He's done singing, so I'm done.
So you're wearing the mask and Cantor isn't? Yeah.
Correct.
Cantor's not going to wear the mask. You don't wear the mask either, all right?
Okay.
It's a social contract here. Jews have two different reactions to the pandemic, we've noticed. It's two different, we're either hypochondriacs who are super cautious, or we're dancing in weddings 5 times a week. Those are the only two reactions that Jews have. We're all or nothing. We're one or the other. I will say, though, a lot of people don't realize when Chassids have 5,000 people at a wedding, that's them doing limited capacity. People realize that's actually them. They're cutting it down a lot, and they're being very safe. It was originally 20,000.
50 people. 5,000.
And also, I'll just mention for anyone, if you talk, you might not be on. You might be off mute, so we'll hear you. So let's just watch. I'm not trying to point anyone out, but my Uncle Marshall just trying to...
Come on, Uncle Marshall. You heard that, Uncle Marshall.
We got a lot of old Jews here who are learning about the computer at the same time as watching a comedy show. So yeah, no, it's great. I'm over at my mom's in Tacoma, and we're celebrating Hanukkah here. I have noticed that the value of gifts really goes downhill once you turn 37. I've noticed that I'm not getting the same great gifts I used to get. My gift this year is just that my mom for a week is not going to mention that I owe her $37 in student loans. That's my gift this year. A lot of Christians, or a lot of people think Hanukkah is better than Christmas because you get 8 days of gifts. But I just want to say, at least when I grew up, there was a lot of filler in those 8 days. A lot of filler. A lot. It wasn't great gifts the whole time. It was, you started out strong. The first day you got like a Sega Genesis, but by day 4, you're getting school book folders. You're getting tube socks. As a kid, you hate getting clothes as a gift. That's the worst. You open that present and there's clothes in there. Is there anything more disappointing? Your parents are like, look, it's a gift. It's clothes. You're like, excuse me, clothes are not a gift. Clothes are not a gift. You know why? Because you are legally obligated to clothe and feed me. Legally obligated. That is not a gift. That is a law. What are you gonna do for my birthday? Pay the electric bill? Go screw yourself, right? It's not a gift. it's not a gift if not doing it is a crime. You understand? I think Hanukkah and Christmas are interesting to me because they both show that Christians and Jews have two very different concepts of what a miracle is. For Christians, it's very grandiose, and for Jews, it's way more practical. For Christians, a miracle is the birth of their God through the Immaculate Conception. I was about to call it the Emancipation Proclamation. It was that's big. That's huge for them. For Jews, a miracle is a little oil that was supposed to last a day, but it lasted a couple more days than that. That's the whole thing. Hanukkah, it's a whole holiday centered around a good deal on a lamp, which is not the best PR for Jews, by the way, that this is a holiday where 2,000 years ago, we made a great purchase and we won't shut up about it every year. But Hanukkah, I like Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the day every year that we atone for our sins. Though I will say, Jews setting a day aside to feel guilty is like the Amish setting a day aside to farm. It's not really necessary. We're like, on Yom Kippur we feel guilty, and also all the other days too. But and then we have Passover. I'm just going to go through the holidays. The Jewish gig. We have Passover where we commemorate our ancestors who were slaves, though it's a little insulting because we're like, all right, we're going to experience what our ancestors were as slaves, and we're going to experience that hardship by eating a little bit of horseradish. And that will really just sum up the whole experience of slavery. I feel like if our ancestors were watching that, they'd be very upset. They're like, are you kidding? You're going to eat horseradish? We were building pyramids in the hot sun. And we're like, you don't understand. This is the spicy horseradish, not the purple stuff. The white horseradish. It's the whole slave experience. Of course, according to the History Channel, aliens built the pyramids. That's what every History Channel show, which I think is anti-Semitic. Every time I watch those shows, I think it's anti-Semitic. But it's basically a bunch of people on the History Channel going, obviously, aliens built the pyramids. What's the other possibility? Jews? Jews doing manual labor. Are you crazy? Clearly, it's way more believable than Jews breaking a sweat. It's way more believable that aliens came back. And we're like, do you need some help with that? That's a little more believable. So it's great to be here. It's great to be here in the basement of my mom's house in Tacoma. I like doing comedy on Zoom. I don't mind. I've done all sorts of gigs over the years. So, I once performed at a prison where halfway through, 5 inmates walked out, which is extra upsetting because they're just going back to their cell. They're
welcome.
Right? There's not another room with midnight bowling or a movie. Those inmates heard my jokes and they're like, you know what? I'd rather be alone with a murderer right now. So, as long as if you all leave, I know you're just going to another room in your house, so I'm not as insulted. I guess I would get stabbed very quickly in prison because I have sleep apnea. Anyone else here have sleep apnea? No, yeah. Just me? Okay, just round of wheezing. Anyone have sleep apnea? I have sleep apnea, which if you don't know what that is, that's a medical condition where you're so out of shape that sleep is just a little too much exercise for you. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in my life. I am not ready for the intense workout of lying in my bed for 8 hours. It could kill me. It could literally kill me. My nephew, I'm staying in Tacoma. I have a nephew. He's 3, and this is adorable. He also has sleep apnea, which is just adorable. I have so many similarities to my nephew. He's 3. He has a lisp. He has sleep apnea. He also hasn't done his taxes in a couple of years. I connect to him on so many levels. I have a bunch of nephews. I don't have any kids myself, but I have a bunch of nephews who make me really happy about that decision not to have kids. Just really happy. I have a niece too. I have a niece. She's 5 and she's great, but she begins every statement with "Did you know?" Everything she says begins with "Did you know?" which is a little presumptuous because there's nothing she knows that I don't know. Nothing. So it's a little she's just like, did you know that sometimes dogs are brown? And I gotta be like, yeah, I think I read that somewhere. Did you know that daddy's name is Jacob? It's like, not only did I know that, that's literally what I call him. Did you know, whatever you're about to say, yes, okay? Whatever you're about to say. She's 5, so she's kind of at that age where she's wrong and cocky at the same time. Like at one point, I asked her if she could name all her uncles and aunts, to which she replied, they already have names, idiot. Which is hurtful but hilarious. I have a lot of kids, nephews and nieces. My twin sister just had another baby recently. Yeah, I know. I didn't care either. So I'm right there with you. Pretended to, but did not. My twin sister, every time I tell people I have a twin sister, this is the worst part about having a twin sister. Every time I tell people, half the people I tell that to go, oh, you got a twin sister? Let me ask you. Identical?
Yeah, right.
Or fraternal? Some of you are laughing, and some of you are the people who ask that freaking question. And I don't know what to tell you all. Now I just play along. Now I'm just like, identical. And they're like, really? How is that? I'm like, it's okay for me. It's not great for her. She's a girl, but she looks like an Israeli John Belushi, you know? Hey, by the way, Cantor, are you there still? Am I spotlit? I think maybe it'd be better if I was spotlit. Can I do that?
I think.
Oh, here it is. Perfect. All right. Because, you know, I'm telling jokes, and then I see some old stone-faced Jew just staring at me, just cutting to him, you know? And I think it's better. It's just me, right? All right. Anyway, I feel like it was very narcissistic. I'm like, can we just put the spotlight on me the entire time? But so yeah, my twin sister. Yeah, people are stupid when it comes to twins. So many adults have been like, oh, you're a twin? Can you read each other's thoughts? I'm like, no, we're fraternal. You're thinking of X-Men, you idiot. We're both hypochondriacs. That's the thing we have in common. Though she's like a cocky hypochondriac. I don't know if you know any cocky hypochondriacs. Like a couple of weeks ago, she saw a couple moles on my back, and she was like, a couple of those moles look suspicious. This is how cocky she was. She said, a couple of those moles look suspicious, but you should probably get a second opinion. I was like, no offense, but I do not consider what you just said a first opinion. Who the heck do you think you are? You know how crappy that'd be if I went to my doctor and I was just like, I was just with my twin sister, and now I'm here for a second opinion. And after you, I'm going to talk to my mailman, and he's going to break the tie. Why are you crying, doctor? Anyway, she was a little insulted because she's a dermatologist, but I still feel strongly that she was very condescending. I'm kidding. She was not a dermatologist. If she was, I would have gone crazy. We had a joint bar mitzvah. Rabbi and Cantor, remember, we had a joint bar mitzvah, or I don't know if they remember. They've had many. That's a little presumptuous to assume they remember. But we had a joint bar mitzvah.
Oh, no.
We both had speeches, and I went first. I don't want to be cocky, but I crushed. I destroyed. Was my speech, my Devar Torah, because I had jokes, and they were not expecting that. Because I don't know if you've been to a bar mitzvah, but obviously if you've been to it, it's a lot of like just some kid on stage going, much like Moses in the desert, today I am a man. Today I am a man, right? But I had jokes. I had 4 applause breaks and a standing ovation at the end, which is unheard of at Addis Assurance. Unheard of. The rabbi went on the freaking spot, which obviously that joke doesn't work because the rabbi is here. And then my twin sister walked up to give her speech, and as she walked by me, I was like, follow that. And she could not follow that. She bombed. But the joke is on me because that day I got the comedy bug and she did not. And now she's a professor who makes 6 figures while I perform comedy on Zoom with my mom in the other room watching. performing in front of a red bath curtain behind me. So, how am I good? Am I good on the connection? I saw it said unstable for a second. I don't know if it was saying that like the connection or just me psychologically. Really? Is it bad? Should I keep on going? Go to another room, or is it okay?
Keep going.
Good. Okay. All right. So my twin sister, she has we had the B'nai Mitzvah, and my mom excited to see me. My mom, I don't know, she keeps on this whole year, I don't talk to her a bunch. She keeps on changing the Netflix password just so that I'll call her. I don't know if you have a parent like that. Yeah, she keeps on, and I'm not falling for it. I don't care. I'll watch Hulu. I don't care, you know. But my mom's great, but she's very shrill and loud and Jewy, and it's a little much. It's a little much. Like last year, I was visiting. I just hear her yell from outside one day. Oh my God, Raanan, come outside. There are 4 deer outside. 4 of them. It's incredible. Raanan, come outside. There are 4 deer. 4 of them. And then I came outside. And would you believe they were gone? But one was still there. He had died of a heart attack. On the grass. My mom's great. My mom's been a 3rd grade teacher for the last 500 years, and as a result, she can only talk to you. She can only talk to you like you're also 8 years old. She'll be like, "Your cousin Phil's been having an affair for 2 years," which is terrible because he's married. And when you're married, it's very upsetting to find out your spouse is cheating on you. It is. And it can make your wife feel really sad. Have you ever felt sad before? But yeah, I'm feeling sad right now. I am a grown-up and you're talking to me like I'm a child. And what's the new Netflix password? You keep on changing it. You always talk to me like I'm a child, even back when I lived at home, back when I was 33 years old. Even then. But you know, I'm getting my life together. I quit drinking. I haven't had a drink in 4 years. I'm trying to get healthier. A couple years ago, my doctor told me I had fatty liver disease. I don't know if anyone else here has had a disease that sounds like your physician's making fun of you. It's quite traumatic. You know, I was afraid to go back. I was going to go back and find out I had little wimp diabetes. I don't know. It's upsetting. So I quit drinking. And now that I don't drink, I have no tolerance. That's what happens when you quit drinking. I have no tolerance. Like back in the day, I used to drink all the time and go crazy and do other stuff. Nowadays, if I see someone drinking coffee after 3 p.m., I'm like freaking Keith Richards over here. What is that, cold brew? Are you insane? I guess it's 9 a.m. somewhere. I guess. I don't know. I'm also getting older. I'm 36. A lot of people think I'm younger because I've had so few accomplishments, but I'm 36. I don't want to brag, but I've been told I have the lack of achievements of a much younger man. It really keeps you glowing. It really does. Now, I'm 36. It's hard to get old in America, especially America. Once you turn 75 in America, you don't have a lot of options. You really don't. You can either be put into a nursing home or run every single aspect of government. Those are the only 2 options. Every one of you is going to have to make a choice when you're 75. For a lot of you, that's just a couple of weeks away. You're all going to have to make a choice. It's like an AARP convention in here, and then there's like one little kid. But anyway, everyone at 75 is going to have to make a choice. Do you want to have your diapers changed 3 times a day, or do you want to decide foreign policy for years to come? Those are the 2 choices. Everyone is so old running the country. This country is run by the cast of Cocoon. It's crazy. Crazy. It really is. I voted for Joe Biden, but he's 78. He's 78. I've done the math. By the end of his 2nd term, he will have been dead for 3 years. That is the math on that. They're also old. Biden's 78. Purdy's 80. Mitch McConnell's one of the tortoises that Darwin named on the Galapagos Islands. You have to, how crazy age is in this country. You have to be 35 to be president. 35. I'm 36. I'm only 36, and I barely have the will to live, much less run the country. Meanwhile, there's no cutoff. There's no cutoff. You can be 112, catheter coming down out of your gown. They'll roll you onto the campaign stage. In America, we treat politicians the way we treat driving. We're too afraid to tell old people to quit. So instead, we just wait for them to kill a bunch of people and hope they figure it out on their own. My mom's getting up there. I don't know. I don't think she has dementia, but I'm worried that when she gets dementia, it'll be hard to tell. That's my main worry. Like, this is something that happened a month ago. One of my paychecks accidentally got mailed to her, and I had to get her to open my PNC mobile account. So I'm on the phone with her, and she's like, all right, to get into your account, there's a security question. I'm like, all right, what's the security question? And I swear to God, she goes, what city was your mother born in? Now, isn't it terrifying to think? Isn't it terrifying to think that in only 10 years, she'll be ready to run for president? Isn't that terrifying? My mom's very bad with movie titles. Yesterday, this is a word-for-word quote from her. She said, the two Hitchcock movies I'll never, ever, ever forget are The Birds and Dial M for Window. This is just a quote of hers that she said yesterday. So yeah, my mom likes to speak in cliches a lot. Like she also said recently, I get all my material from just visiting her in these last couple of days. She said recently, I can't believe it's already December. That's what she said. I can't believe it's already December. Really? That's the thing you can't believe this year. That's the thing you have trouble believing this year. Of all years, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. I'm doing comedy with a bath curtain behind me over a bunch of old Jews talking on their computer going, can you turn down the sound and everything? And the thing you have trouble believing, the absurd notion you have trouble comprehending is that after November 30th comes November 1st. That's the wacky concept that you can't believe. Kanye West ran for president. Kanye West, which was like the 42nd crazy signature. He ran for president. There was literally an actual headline that said Kanye West concedes, as if anyone gave a crap. As if anyone cared. Rudolph Giuliani got brought down by Borat, a fictional character. And the thing you got to pinch your cheek about to make sure you're not dreaming is that time moves forward. I can't wait till aliens land. I'll be like, Mom, can you believe this? And she'll be like, I know. Hanukkah already? It is a very anxious time. You know, I live in New York, and we had COVID under control for a little bit. We were cleaning the subways every day. So I will say, nothing made New York seem less hygienic than when Cuomo was on TV last summer, constantly referring to cleaning the subways as an unprecedented task. If anything made New York seem grosser than that, just him every night just going, not since man walked on the moon. Have human beings come together to achieve something as seemingly unimpossible, as seemingly unattainable as cleaning New York. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Jesus, you're really hammering it in. We did this lived there in New York. We did well with COVID for a while. We beat out Amazon. Amazon tried to come to New York, and we beat out that virus that's taken over the world. I find Amazon fascinating because Amazon is this giant. I hope no one works for Amazon here. It's this giant evil corporation that's taken over the world, and yet it began as an online bookstore. That's got to be the most harmless origin story. That's like if the Empire from Star Wars began as a tiny vegan restaurant. Like they were just like, we just wanted a place in the galaxy where people could get tempeh, and one thing led to another. Got out of hand. I don't know how it went from tofu to Darth Vader, but it did. I got a lot of anxiety about COVID. I go to a therapist, and we do Zoom sessions now. I do everything on Zoom. I have a therapist. We do Zoom sessions, and she does it from her bedroom, and she has a pet parrot in her bedroom. This is 100% true. She has a pet parrot in her Zoom session. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Out of all the animals you can pick as a pet, you went with the only one that can break doctor-patient confidentiality. No other animal can break the parrots are the only one, and you went with it. Now I gotta worry that there's a parrot in a cage right now going, bah, bah. I wet my bed till I was 13 years old. Bah, bah. That's just an example, by the way. Yeah, I get a lot of anxiety, and I'm on Prozac. I'm on Prozac because you gotta take something during this. And before I got on it, I read all these drug reviews on Prozac, and they're all insane. But I want to read you my favorite drug review for Prozac. I love this. I think about this about 14 times a day. This is a word for word a drug review on Prozac. This is from Scott. After taking Prozac, I start to feel no emotion whatsoever. My wife and I would argue, and she would call me a walking zombie. We no longer had intimate relationships, and that took a serious toll on our marriage. Other than that, the medication worked great. I'm not going to lie. I started taking Prozac right after reading that because that's how you know it's a good drug. You know it's a good drug when it ruins someone's life and they're still like 4 stars. Because there's nothing, there's nothing external making them happy. It's purely the drug. That should be every commercial for antidepressants. It should just be some guy going, I lost my family, I lost my job, I'm doing pretty good. So yeah, my therapist has a parrot. I like birds. I do like birds in general. I'm fascinated by birds. This is me awkwardly trying to go back to the bird bit because I forgot a joke. I'm fascinated by birds. I'm just trying to show you how the sausage is made. Ooh, sausage is a bad example here. I'm just trying to show you how the kosher hot dog is made, So I'm fascinated by pigeons because pigeons used to deliver the mail. Did we all know that? Carrier pigeons. Every pigeon you see now is just an out-of-work postal employee. And I read this. This is very fascinating. I read this because I'm curious about it. A lot of pigeons, back when they used to deliver the mail, a lot of times, this is very interesting, a lot of times they would deliver the mail to the wrong address. And the reason that is because they were pigeons. I would have loved to see how mail. I just would have loved to overheard a conversation of lost mail back then. Just once, just one conversation. Just some guy going, "Hey Jerry, I never got that invitation to your wedding." And Jerry's like, "Really? You didn't? That's weird because I handed it to a bird." And then I told the bird your address. And then I threw him off the ledge. How did you not get it? I don't understand what could have gone wrong in that process. I don't understand. We did everything correctly. But yeah. Anyway, it's I guess we're all in Kentucky here, right? This is all Jews from Kentucky. I'm a Jew from Kentucky, like you all, which is a lot like being a unicorn in many ways. The only difference is there's a lot of people in Kentucky who thought we had two horns. That was the only difference.
I don't remember.
That joke never does that well, but I think it's good. It's I think maybe more clever than funny, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I was a Jew. You know, growing up Jewish in Kentucky, you talk to people outside Kentucky, they don't know anything about Kentucky at all. They're just like always like, what was it like growing up as a Jew in Kentucky? Did you experience a lot of racism? And I did experience a lot of racism, mostly from my grandpa, who was pretty racist. He was very racist guy. I remember, and whenever he said something racist, my mom would always defend him, and she'd always say the same thing. She'd be like, well, he's from a different time. He's from a different time. And I'd be like, yeah, but the only problem with that is he's not. He's from right now. He was from a different time, and then time moved forward, and he's still in time. That's how time works. Even though my mom has trouble believing it, that's how time works. It moves forward, okay? Certain old people only have trouble adjusting to racism and homophobia. They don't have trouble adjusting to other changes, and it's a little hypocritical. Like an old person will be like, I don't think black and white people should date or gay people should get married because that's not how I was raised. That's not how I was raised. And that's fine. You can say that, but then I don't ever see you riding an escalator. Because you weren't raised with that either. Every time you see an escalator, you should be like, who put this roller coaster in the mall, and just run away. I don't know. I think the most important thing is my grandpa was also very blunt in other ways. Like I remember one time my sister was dating a non-Jew, and he literally said at the dining room table, not only is he not Jewish, but he's ugly. Which I imagine was very upsetting for my sister to hear, and even probably even more upsetting for her boyfriend sitting right next to her to hear. So yeah, I think the most important thing in life, I will say, is I think you got to make sure there's no racism in your heart. I think that's the most important thing. You got to make sure there's no racism in your heart. I think that should be the goal for everyone. Because once you get dementia, that crap's coming out. You can hide it for so long, and then you get dementia, and it's all coming out. It's all coming out. You can just hide it on just in your car, but once dementia comes, dementia is like God hacking your private emails. That's basically dementia is like WikiLeaks, but for the soul. That's what dementia is. Dementia is weird too. Dementia is weird because it will make you forget family members, but not that you hate a group of people. That's how deep hatred is in humanity. People's dementia are like, I hate Puerto Ricans. Now, who are you and where am I? But yeah, so a lot of people experienced very little racism in Kentucky. And then the other question people ask about growing up in Kentucky, they asked, did you experience anti-Semitism in Kentucky? And no, I did not. No one in Kentucky knew what a Jew was. They were not cultured enough to be anti-Semitic. They were not world savvy enough to hate the Jews. So many people back in the day, I would tell them I'm Jewish, and they'd be like, which one's that again? Is that the one where you don't celebrate birthdays? Or the one where you churn butter? Or the one where Tom Cruise is your savior? Which one? And I tell them, I say, it's the one your God was raised as. I don't know anything about Jews. Everyone in your Bible is a Jew. They're all Jews. It's a Chinese restaurant on Christmas. It's filled with Jews. They're all Jews. God, first of all, God's a Jew from the get-go, from the opening line. God is so Jewish. What's the opening line of the Bible? In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and it was good. Not great. Just good. That got some Larry David crap right away. Just God right away going, it was good. Could have been a little better if I had a little more time. but for the amount of time I had, it was great. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was okay. I'm not happy with it either. If I had a couple more weeks, it would have been way better, but I was on a deadline. Jesus' mother was a Jew. I know she's all stoic and patient in the movies and the Bible, but she was a worried Jewish mother. She was probably at the cross freaking out. Jesus, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You're going to catch a cold up there. It's not too late. You can still become a lawyer. Like your cousin Herbie. Jesus, oh my God. There are 4 deer outside. 4 of them. It's incredible. Take me up. Take me up. Thank you. I'm Raanan Hershberg. That's my time. You all been wonderful. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Raanan. I have now heard you more than any other comedian this year. It's been fantastic every single time. And new material, just really great. And thank God for your mother. I think it's wonderful. She is the gift that will keep on giving. Sure. So we look forward to future performances. And thank you all for participating. Happy Hanukkah. And God willing, we can be together after the pandemic. But wonderful to be with you. And Shavua Tov. And Chag Urim Sameach, a happy and healthy Hanukkah, and wear your mask when you are with other people.
Simple.
Take care.
Well, I was talking to